So I'm going to tell you right here and now, is this a worthy investment for you? Wait, did you think I was serious? No, like, just chill, sit down with me for 5 minutes. Look, I promise we'll get to that in due course. But first, we have to address some things before I answer that all-important question. So if this is the first time that we are meeting, then hi, my name is Nick. I do gear reviews such as this one here, general how-tos, and when I can, go on a little adventure here and there. So if this is something that you are interested in, then maybe consider subscribing at the end of this video. Alright, so I'm going to stress there are 50 million billion reviews on the specs of this lens, so I'm not going to get into that. You can find the videos in all the corners of the internet. So I'm going to be focusing on what I, and possibly you, might find important, such as build quality, focal length, uses, and who I would recommend this to. But of course, if you feel like I missed anything, then please do pop it in the comments down below and we will discuss. So we're going to start with build quality, and it's going to be a nice and quick one because I have not had any issues in the 6 months that I've owned this lens. Now, I did hear that the 28-75 had suffered some loose zoom ring options, but this one has been tight the entire time I've owned it, so it seems it's gotten away with it. Now, in terms of nicks and bumps, it's had its fair share. Now, I will stress I am super careful with my gear, though in the case of, trees or a little bit of a rock knocking it or just in the camera bag, it has had a few, but overall it's been really well looked after and it has handled any little accidental brush like a champ. Now, I cannot and will not give you a drop test of this. Like, God, can you imagine that? But don't go doing a drop test on your lens. Like, if you get to that point, then something's seriously wrong. But yes, it's been perfect, no sign of failure, and as you can see, it is super tight. This just sounds like brand new, doesn't it? Now, focal length is the area that I'm going to focus on the most. Did you get that? Because it's like a focus joke about focal length. Anyway, so you may be, like me, considering either the f4 or the G Master 16-35 Sony version of this lens. Now, I will be the first to say that you do notice the 17-28 lacking after a while. Not at first it's fine, but then it does start to play on your nerves a bit. I mean, not if you don't mind changing lenses and you have like a decent setup like the other Tamron 28-75, or you do what I did and get the 28-200, which I did a review on up here, then it's not too bad. So considering the advantage that you get of the constant 2.8, I don't consider this a huge disadvantage, but just keep in mind that it's not very versatile. But then again, considering the price of the f4, which is similar to this, and then the G Master, which we're not even going to go there because that's just like up here somewhere, ridiculous price out of the screen. Maybe one day we'll be able to afford it, us simple plebs, but not this day.
But it is not this day!
So yes, you will notice a little bit lacking, but being an odd range, I have mainly ended up using this for astrophotography, which I have been super impressed with. Like, I'll chuck a few examples up on the screen right now. Now, as you can see, like, having that 17mm 2.8 really does allow to get all of the Milky Way in without an issue. Now, I do use this occasionally in tight situations, like in front of waterfalls, etc. So it does always come with me on trips, though I just don't seem to be using it as much as I used to. Now, if you're looking at one of these lenses for video, I will say that if you have in-body image stabilization, then it is really great because, as you can see here, this is the Tamron 17-70, so you'll be getting the same wide angle that this lens is showing you right now. It is perfect for getting everything around you, though not distorting you and your surroundings too much. So what else would I say this lens is for? Well, if you are a real estate photographer, then great, perfect. This is the lens for you because it really is fantastic in tight situations, as I said. Now, as well as that, I would love to use this on the streets of London or Tokyo or somewhere that is really densely packed, because I feel like this focal length would be amazing to get those really nice unique angles on skyscrapers and tall buildings and have you not. Now I say this because I have moved away from super wide landscape shots. Now I consider this just an evolution of my photography, but if you are into having super wide angle shots where you don't want to miss any of the landscape, then it has been fantastic for that, though you will get a lot of ground in, so that's why I always recommend zooming in just a tiny bit, but that's a video for another time. I keep getting so sidetracked every time I mention like this tiny little thing. I'm just off with the wind. Anyway, I will close this section by saying you will not miss the extra mil that 16 to 35 has. And the only way you're going to notice that is by putting it side to side. But really, if you think about it, like 17 mil, 16 mil, it's nothing. It's only something on a crop sensor lens. That's when it's something. But again, another video. See, I've got to pull myself back in. Talk about just this video at the moment, and then we'll go to another video at another time. So yes, let's close this section because I just keep getting too sidetracked. So would I recommend this lens? Well, the answer is yes, but it's not a resounding yes like I spoke about with the 28-200, because you have to keep in mind just those limitations that I mentioned. Like, it has been great as long as you have a corresponding lens to back it up, because this is not a do-it-all wide-angle lens. If you do want a do-it-all wide-angle lens, then I would recommend the 16 to 35 if that's within your price range and you don't mind the f4 look. But if you are, like me, someone who can back it up with another lens, then you will not be disappointed. I personally haven't regretted buying this lens. Yeah, I don't use it as much as I thought I would, which is both a nice and a not so nice thing, because it just shows, how you change as a photographer, which is fantastic because we're always growing and evolving, aren't we, with our art. But the f2.8 at this price point is, it's beautiful. And there, we're at the end. So, told you I wasn't going to take up too much of your time. If this has been of some use to you, then a big fat like on this video will be a massive help for this channel. And if you have enjoyed it and you stuck around to the end, then why not consider subscribing for more gear-related content such as this. All right, now just go on, get back to whatever you were doing, and I'll see you in the next one. All right, bye. See ya. Bye.